Murim 22. Night settled quietly, and the moon's reflection shimmered beautifully across the flowing river, casting a calm yet tense atmosphere over everything. Inside, Tang Wu and HWA were seated in front of the clan leader, while Sasam stood nearby. HWA appeared slightly nervous, her unease visible in her expression. The leader addressed Tang Wu, telling him to stop behaving like a child. In response, Tang Wu spoke nonchalantly, declaring that someone who had received the surname of the Tang clan was someone trusted, and therefore there was no need to worry, and hesitation should be cast aside. Hearing this, the leader lowered his head and clasped his hands together respectfully, addressing him as Uncle Tang, and requesting that he evacuate with the guests of honor to Soho and seek reinforcements. Tang Wu, clearly annoyed, scoffed and argued that if they did that, the majority would be left vulnerable against the enemy's martial skills. He clenched his teeth in frustration. Despite this, the leader remained calm and acknowledged that Tang Wu might know better than him. He then carefully explained the plan in detail, stating that if they sailed by boat from Soho to the Yangtze River, they would be able to receive aid from the fortress of the 18 Ways of the Yangtze River. He added that all the boats had already been prepared, and that the clan's guests and servants had been gathered at the South Water Gate. Tang Wu then asked when they should depart, to which the leader responded firmly that they would leave today. Accepting this, Tang Wu began to walk away, stating that he would prepare. HWA watched him leave, her worry growing heavier. As Tang Wu reached the door, the leader quietly called out to him and asked that when they left, he should take Hai along as well, explaining that he did not want her to witness him fighting that man. Tang Wu paused and asked if that was truly all. At this, the leader broke down, his emotions spilling over as he admitted his fear that he and the Namgung clan might not even be able to hold out for 11 days. Hearing this, Tang Wu exploded in rage. He turned back sharply, his face filled with fury, and shouted that the leader was insane. He refused to accept such a fate, declaring himself as a poison hand and a pursuing soul-raising handler. Tang O, he commanded the leader to resist, even if it meant betting his life, promising that he would return with reinforcements. With that, Tang Wu slammed the door hard and left. HWA called out to him desperately, but he did not stop or listen. Watching this unfold, the leader fell into deep sorrow, while Sasam silently observed him. The scene then shifted smoothly to the riverside, where Sasam stood alone, staring at the water. He reflected inwardly, believing that rescuing Tang HWA had been the right decision. He acknowledged that he had never expected to hear the Namgung clan's plan directly, yet he also recognized that the plan carried many uncertainties. At that moment, his attention shifted as he heard a voice. Turning toward the sound, he saw HWA shouting loudly, desperately calling out for Tang Wu. She was visibly frightened. In her mind, she questioned what her grandfather was planning. As her eyes moved, she suddenly noticed Sasam. She recognized him immediately and felt a sudden wave of shyness. Gathering herself, she greeted him. The two stood side by side, wrapped in an awkward silence. HWA felt extremely shy and thought to herself how awkward the situation was, especially since it was impossible to know what he was thinking. After a moment, she finally broke the silence. Though still shy, she thanked him for saving her, clarifying that he should not misunderstand her intentions, and explaining that she simply felt that if she did not say it now, she might never get another chance. Upon hearing this, Sasam responded with a cold, piercing glare. The narrative then transitioned to another riverside location, where the leader of another clan stood observing the water. Soon, he noticed Hyeok approaching him. The leader addressed him as Shifting Shadow, then corrected himself, calling him Du Hyeok, and demanded to hear what excuses he had. Hyeok chuckled lightly and remarked that the leader spoke as if he had failed. The leader responded sharply, pointing out that all 4 shadows had died without achieving any results, and emphasized that Hyeok's mere presence there meant the first plan had already failed. However, Hyeok smirked confidently, adjusting his hair as he dismissed the claim. He explained that the core of the first plan was for him to become the hero of the Orthodox faction, and that simply being there did not mean he could not still become that hero. As he spoke, his smirk deepened, his veins becoming visible, and his expression turned sinister. His body began to transform, shifting into the form of a voluptuous woman. With a low chuckle, he covered his cleavage slightly and asked what the leader thought of this new appearance. He implied that with such a look, he would not even need a witness like Namgung Hai, and that it would naturally lead to becoming Namgung's heir. The leader, surprised, questioned whether that appearance was truly Namgung Hai. Then suddenly, he burst into uncontrollable laughter, calling Hyeok crazy and admitting that this development changed everything. He commented on her reputation as the #1 beauty of Anhui, acknowledging her beauty, but then added with a twisted grin that even knowing she was a man, it still stirred something in him. Angered by this reaction, Hyeok lashed out, calling him a pervert. The leader, however, only grinned wider, stating that it did not matter whether one was a man or a woman, as long as it looked good and was enjoyable. Their tension escalated, and they prepared to clash. But at that moment, a bird arrived carrying a letter for the leader. Hyeok recognized it as being from Water Shadow. The leader read the message and realized that the ship had already sailed. Understanding the urgency, the leader stated that he would have to move as well and asked what Hyeok intended to do. Hyeok replied with a smile that he would follow that path. The leader questioned whether he was going to meet Water Shadow, suggesting instead that the Namgung Clan situation seemed far more interesting. Hyeok, however, hinted that something even more interesting was present there. The leader speculated about Tang Hwa, dismissing the idea by stating that even as one of the Great 10, a single person could not outweigh the power of the entire Namgung clan. Then suddenly, realization struck him. Shocked, he shouted, questioning whether it could be that individual, the one he referred to as a pest. He demanded to know if Hyeok had found him and asked who he was. Hyeok simply smiled and denied it, addressing him mockingly as Shadow. Without another word, Hyeok turned and left. The leader attempted to stop him, but he failed. The scene then flowed into the final sequence, where the Namgung clan had already departed. Numerous ships sailed together, creating a grand and imposing sight across the water. From a distance, someone observed them through a telescope. That person quickly went to report to the chief of the 18 Ways of the Yangtze River Fortress, confirming that the ships had indeed set sail. Hearing this, the chief gave the order to set sail as well, declaring that they were going for a boat trip.